Hey everyone, so this is my multi-system emulator that I currently own. It's not off a PC, it's an actual small device that uses an SD card, and as you can tell, I have access to many systems here. Uh, we got Game Boy, we got the arcade, Dreamcast, and under each system there's of course lots of games, MAME, which of course is very popular, Sega Master System, Genesis, and so on. The reason why I'm making this video is I'd like to start a retro series, but rather than just start playing any games out of the blue, what I would like is your feedback to let me know which game to play. I know there's a lot of old school players out there that like games like Chrono Trigger, Xenoblade, Aerobiz, um, games like the Street Fighter series and so on, Paper Mario, Legend of Zelda. So these are all old games on the Snes and the Genesis system. We have Nintendo 64. Of course, there's Mario 64. The two Zelda games that were on there, Link, Majora's Mask, and the other one was just the regular The Legend of Zelda, which was, of course, one of my all-time favorite games. Neo Geo, lots of fighting games, Samurai Showdown, uh, and the King of Fighter series. Those were again old school fighting games, retro games. So it's the retro series that I'd like to do. That I'd like you to give me your opinions, which games to play. And you know, I know there's a lot of people out there, retro gamers like me, that aren't that like the new stuff, but definitely are into the older, more games. They're still fun to play. And TurboGrafx 16, not a lot of games for that system that I can remember. The PlayStation, of course, has quite a bit of games. Chrono Trigger, as I mentioned, the Street Fighter games, and some of the other fighting games as well. Uh, and of course, there's yeah, sure, the You Don't Know Jack series. Of course, a lot of people want to see that for sure. But yeah, so this is pretty much what I'm asking is for your opinion, and just go through what else do we got here. Sega 32X, not a lot of games for this. Sega CD had a couple of good games that were not bad. Now, if there's games that you don't see that you'd like me to add into the list, definitely I can do that. We have Super Nintendo, lots of old retro games on here. Obviously, I can't go through every single game that's available here. This would take quite some time. But I mean, pretty much if you remember it from back in the day in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s, it's pretty much here. So definitely the Breath of Fire games, again, another oldie that people liked. Um, oh, maybe some more stuff here that you might want to see in the Super Nintendo. Gaia, again, another old game. Lots of fan favorites. The Zelda Link to the Past. I know people still like that game. Still considered one of the best Zelda games, if not the best. So, got the arcade here. A lot of the arcade stuff is also the same as MAME, you know, Pac-Man, the Street Fighters, the Mortal Kombats, and things like that. And I don't know. I, again, really would like your opinion. So, Dreamcast wasn't a lot of games, unfortunately, that worked. We have Game Boy. Do not ask me to play Tetris. I'm not a good Tetris player. Game Boy Color. So, but yeah, I leave it in the hands of you, the gamers, to let me know. Nintendo 64 obviously have Mario 64 and Zelda's. I've never played Majora's Mask. I've heard it's good. I've never played it. Ocarina of Time, one of my all-time favorite games. I got this on first day when it came out, and I played through it. There's Mario Kart, Mario Party, so just going through these just so you guys get a little bit of a better idea of what's available. All the stuff is saved on a SD card inside the little machine I have. The machine costs about $100, so you can actually use your PS3 controller on it, so that makes it really good. It's got a couple of multiple USB ports, a little power port. So, what do we have here under 32X? I remember there was Doom. It wasn't a great game. Mortal Kombat 2 wasn't that bad. It wasn't exactly the greatest port. Some people still say the Super NES version is better. Primal Rage, hard game to play. Just how the gameplay actually is set up. It wasn't a bad game. I know there was a sequel, but it never actually physically came out. So, Virtua Fighter. Lots of Virtua Fighter fans out there. So, the old school Virtua Fighting game fans. Virtua Fighter is still big in Japan. Believe it or not. I think 5 was the last one that came out. I have not played Virtua Fighter in quite some time. Whoops. Nope. Don't want to do that. Let's get out of here, please. Sorry, this is just a subsystem. Yeah. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. Just let me know what you'd like to see. And I look forward to your feedback. Once I get some feedback, I'll definitely let everybody know what's the big game. I'm pretty sure some of those old RPG games are going to come into play for sure. So